Jamaica. The very name conjures vivid images of breathtaking white sand beaches, the globally recognized rhythm of reggae music, and a vibrant culture celebrated all over the world. But looking past the radiant sunshine and infectious good vibes, you'll find a deep and complex economic story. This is a story shaped not merely by the long shadows of colonial powers, but also by successive waves of immigrants who journeyed to the island seeking safety, opportunity, and a fresh start. For centuries, a select group of powerful families has operated as the quiet, formidable engine of the island's economy, meticulously building empires in trade, agriculture, and industry. While the roots of many of these dynasties trace back to Europe, the Middle East, and Asia, the story of one particular group is as remarkable as it is infrequently told. Most people with a passing knowledge of history are familiar with Jamaica's colonial ties to Spain and Britain. But what about the Jewish families who, over 350 years ago, fled the unimaginable horrors of the Spanish Inquisition and discovered a rare, safe harbor on this Caribbean island? They didn't just find a place to survive, they found a place to build. From bankrolling the very first international trade routes that put Jamaica on the map, to creating some of the most iconic and enduring brands in the entire Caribbean, these families became an indispensable cornerstone of Jamaica's burgeoning economy. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on the 10 biggest Jewish family businesses that transformed from refugees into titans of industry, revealing a hidden history of the dynasties that were instrumental in building modern Jamaica. Number 10. The Moden family. Kicking off our list at number 10 is the Moden family. Their name may not carry the same immediate recognition as some others we'll discuss, but their impact is quite literally built into the very landscape of Jamaica. The Modens trace their heritage to the Syrian Jewish community, representing a later wave of Jewish immigrants who arrived in the mid-20th century. They came armed with an entrepreneurial fire and a relentless drive that perfectly matched the energy of Jamaica's post-war development boom. Their most significant mark was made in the world of urban development, particularly through their connection to the real estate firm Wickens. By working alongside other major industry players, the Moden family became a key force in some of Jamaica's most ambitious and large-scale construction projects. Their name is forever linked to the development of Greater Portmore. This colossal undertaking was one of the most significant housing developments in Jamaica's history, a project that created homes for tens of thousands of people and completely reshaped the geography of the areas surrounding Kingston and St. Catherine. The Moden family's story is a classic example of how the intense drive of mid-century immigrants could be channeled into creating massive, tangible infrastructure. They weren't just building houses. They were building entire communities from the ground up, creating a blueprint for suburban living on a scale that Jamaica had never before witnessed. While they frequently operated in strategic partnerships, most notably with the Matalons, a family we'll get to later on this list, their essential role in the island's construction boom was undeniable. Their laser focus on real estate and large-scale urban planning places them at the very heart of Jamaica's modernization. A lasting legacy you can see today in the sprawling neighborhoods that house a significant portion of the island's population. Number 9. The Melhado and Lindo families. At number 9, we have two interconnected families whose legacy is beautifully captured by one of Kingston's most famous and elegant landmarks, the stunning Devon House. The Melhado and Lindo families were part of the early wave of Sephardic Jews who, centuries ago, escaped the brutal Spanish and Portuguese Inquisitions and found refuge in Jamaica. Arriving with little, they established themselves as major merchants and skillfully wove themselves into the very fabric of the island's elite society. Their most visible legacy came into focus after 1922, when the magnificent Devon house was put up for sale. It was Reginald Melhado, a highly successful Jewish Jamaican entrepreneur, who purchased the property in 1923, ensuring its legacy remained alive within the community. The Melhados themselves had a history of perseverance, having fled persecution in Portugal centuries earlier. Just 5 years later, in 1928, the estate was sold to another prominent Jewish Jamaican, Cecil Lindo. The Lindo family also possessed deep Sephardic roots, with ancestors who had escaped to the Americas to avoid forced conversion. Cecil Lindo was an economic powerhouse in his own right, holding massive investments in bananas, railways, and most famously, the iconic liquor company J. Ray and Nephew and its world-renowned Appleton estate. For several decades, these two families served as the proud caretakers of Devon House, a powerful symbol of their success in a new homeland. The mansion was far more than a simple home. It was a grand statement about their esteemed position at the pinnacle of Jamaican society. Although the house was eventually sold and later heroically saved from demolition by the Jamaican government in the 1960s, the period of its ownership by the Melhado and Lindo families is a crucial chapter in its story. It showcases the immense influence of this early Sephardic elite, who were not just building the economy, but were also dedicated to protecting the nation's cultural treasures. Today, Devon House stands as a beloved national monument, but its story is incomplete without acknowledging the two Jewish families who preserved its grandeur for future generations. Number 8. The Henriquez family. Coming in at number 8 is a family with roots in Jamaica that run as deep as the island's British history. The Henriquez family. The family's patriarch, Moses Henriquez, settled in Kingston and established a lineage that would grow into a powerhouse in trade, industry, and the crucial work of preserving Jamaican heritage. The Henriquez family serves as a perfect illustration of the first wave of Sephardic Jews who didn't just find a safe haven in Jamaica, but actively participated in shaping its destiny. They began their journey in trade, leveraging their extensive international connections, particularly in London, to become dominant players in the lucrative West India trade. Over the centuries, they astutely branched out into manufacturing and construction. One side of the family even established Henriquez Construction in the aftermath of the Great 1907 earthquake, recognizing an opportunity to help rebuild the devastated island. Generations of the Henriquez family have also been deeply involved in the management of J. Ray and Nephew, the iconic Jamaican rum company. However, the Henriquez family's impact extends far beyond the realm of business. They evolved into dedicated guardians of Jamaican history, with a special focus on its Jewish history. Ainsley Henriquez, a modern pillar of the family, has devoted his life to the monumental task of preserving the island's rich Jewish heritage. He has spearheaded the charge in restoring Jamaica's 13 remaining Jewish cemeteries, many of which had fallen into disrepair and were nearly forgotten. He also founded the Jamaica Jewish Genealogical Society and served as the chairman of the Jamaica National Heritage Trust, working tirelessly to protect the nation's history for all Jamaicans. This profound dedication to culture is what truly sets the Henriquez family apart. Their legacy isn't just measured in profits, it's inscribed on the tombstones they have saved and lives on in the precious stories they have kept alive. Number 7. The Laamigo family. At number 7, we feature a family whose name is intrinsically linked to one of Jamaica's most famous and celebrated exports: rum. The Laamigo family was among the influential Sephardic Jewish families who made their indelible mark in Jamaica during the 17th and 18th centuries. While many of their fellow Jewish merchants were busily trading sugar and coffee, The Laamigos concentrated on an industry that would eventually make Jamaica world famous: the art of distilling fine rum. Back in the 18th and 19th centuries, rum was often a coarse, unrefined spirit, far from the premium product we know today. The Laamigo family, along with other Jewish distillers, introduced a new level of craftsmanship and business acumen to the industry. They possessed not only the technical knowledge of how to make it, but also the foresight to brand it and market it internationally. They were instrumental in transforming Jamaican rum from a rough local moonshine into a premium spirit savored in the drawing rooms of Europe and the Americas. They operated some of the island's most important distilleries, pioneering techniques that improved the product's quality and consistency. Their influence was absolutely foundational. By establishing and maintaining a high standard for quality, the Laamigos helped to create the very concept of fine Jamaican rum. They built the physical infrastructure and the crucial trade connections that more famous brands would later leverage for their own success. So, while you might not find the Laamigo name on a bottle of Appleton Estate today, their legacy is present in every single sip. The complex, rich flavor profile that makes Jamaican rum unique owes a great deal to the pioneering work and high standards set by families like the Laamigos. They didn't just manufacture a spirit, they were bottling the very essence of Jamaica for the world. Number 6. The D Costa family. Climbing to number 6 is a family that demonstrates the incredible power wielded by Jamaica's early Jewish settlers in the island's most critical industries, the D Costa family. Alongside the Laamigos and Henriquez, the D Costas were a central pillar of the Sephardic community, who rose to become economic giants in the 17th and 18th centuries. They achieved this by dominating the two commodities that fueled the colonial economy: sugar and coffee. The D Costas were masters of the agricultural world. They owned vast plantations, operated technologically advanced sugar mills, and managed efficient coffee refineries. They adeptly utilized their extensive family and business networks in Europe to ship and sell their products, creating a direct and profitable pipeline from Jamaican farms to the wealthy markets of the Old World. For generations, the D Costa name was synonymous with immense agricultural wealth and the significant political power that accompanied it. However, delving into the complete history of the D Costa family presents a formidable challenge. The Great Fire of Kingston in 1882 was a catastrophic event that not only destroyed a large portion of the city's business district, but also tragically burned down the Sephardic synagogue. With it, most of the community's invaluable historical records from before that time were lost forever. This tragic loss makes it incredibly difficult for historians to trace their full story and impact. Yet, from the records that did survive, such as wills, property deeds, and business ledgers, it is abundantly clear that they were a dynasty woven into the very fabric of colonial Jamaica. The D Costa's legacy stands as a potent, albeit fragmented, reminder of the central role that Jewish entrepreneurs played in constructing Jamaica's agricultural and industrial base. Number 5. The Steeble family. Breaking into our top 5 is a story so extraordinary it feels as though it were lifted from a Hollywood movie script. At number 5, we have the Steeble family, a name immortalized by one of Jamaica's greatest national treasures, Devon House. The entire narrative revolves around the incredible life of one man, George Steeble. George Steeble was born around 1821, the son of a German Jewish merchant and a Jamaican housekeeper of African descent. He left school at the tender age of 14 to begin life as a carpenter's apprentice. With some financial assistance from his father, he bought a single ship and soon commanded a small fleet for trading. After a disastrous storm claimed his ships, he was left stranded in Venezuela, but cleverly used money he had saved to invest in gold mines. the gamble paid off spectacularly. In 1873, George Steeble returned to Jamaica a phenomenally wealthy man, widely considered to be Jamaica's first millionaire of African descent. Back in Jamaica, Steeble went on an incredible purchasing spree, acquiring 99 properties across the island, including productive sugar estates and sprawling coffee plantations. But his crowning achievement was the construction of Devon House in 1881. This breathtaking mansion, built on a prominent corner that became known as Millionaire's Corner, was a bold and undeniable statement of his success. Steeble also embraced his role as a civic leader, serving as the Custos of St. Andrew and helping to fund the Great Exhibition of 1891 to promote Jamaica and attract tourism. After his death, the magnificent estate was eventually sold to other prominent Jewish families, the Melhados and Lindos, which kept its story connected to the community. Today, Devon House is a cherished national monument, a testament to Steeble's unbelievable journey from humble beginnings to immense wealth and influence. His story is a powerful and unique blend of Jewish heritage, African ancestry, and pure, unadulterated entrepreneurial genius. Number 4. The Hart family. At number 4, we have a family that has been a dominant force in Montego Bay for well over a century. The Hart family. Their story begins in the 18th century, and by the 1800s, under the leadership of patriarch Samuel Hart, they had become the most significant business family in the city. They owned numerous shops, a wharf that controlled a majority of the local trade, and vast tracts of valuable land. The Hart family represents a dynasty that masterfully transitioned from old-world colonial trade to the complexities of modern industry. For generations, they shaped the commercial pulse of Montego Bay. However, it's their achievements in the modern era that place them so high on this list. Today, the family's legacy is carried forward by dynamic figures like Mark Hart. In 1994, Mark Hart co-founded a company that would fundamentally change the game for Jamaica's vital hospitality industry, Caribbean Producers Jamaica Limited, or CPJ. CPJ began as a food service distributor but rapidly evolved into the primary, one-stop supplier for the island's hotels and resorts, providing everything from bulk food and beverages to fine wines and premium spirits. The company then expanded its operations, manufacturing its own lines of beverages and meat products. The success of CPJ was transformative for Jamaica's tourism sector, a critical pillar of the national economy. With an estimated family net worth of around $200 million, the Hart family's influence remains as potent as ever. From the bustling wharves of the 19th century to the luxurious resorts of the 21st, the Harts have demonstrated an incredible ability to adapt, innovate, and lead. Number 3. The Issa family. Our bronze medal position is awarded to a family whose name is virtually synonymous with Jamaican tourism, the Issa family. The family's remarkable journey began when Patriarch Elias A. Issa immigrated from Bethlehem in 1894. His son, Abraham Elias Issa, is widely and deservedly hailed as the father of Jamaican tourism. His visionary efforts didn't just build an industry. In many respects, he created it from the ground up. The Issa Empire initially began in retail, but in the 1940s, their focus took a historic and decisive turn. The family acquired the Myrtle Bank Hotel in Kingston and, in 1949, opened the Tower Isle Hotel on the island's picturesque north coast. Tower Isle was a revolutionary concept. It was Jamaica's first resort designed to be open all year round, a strategy to attract tourists beyond the traditional winter high season. But an even bigger idea was on the horizon. Facing a severe tourism crisis in the 1970s, Abraham's son, John Issa, observed the challenges tourists faced and perfected the all-inclusive concept. He launched this innovative model at a resort in Negril, where guests paid a single upfront price for everything: accommodations, food, drinks, and activities. It was a massive, industry-saving hit that revived tourism and set a new global standard. This brilliant idea grew into the legendary superclubs and couples resorts chains. But the Issa's ambitions didn't stop at tourism. Abraham Issa founded Jamaica's first modern department store, the first high-low supermarkets, the island's first American-style shopping plazas, and even the modern Caymanas Park racetrack. His sons and grandsons have continued to expand this vast empire, which now includes the massive Cool Group conglomerate, founded by Joey Issa. The Issa dynasty is a story of relentless innovation, building an empire that touches nearly every facet of modern Jamaican life, and securing their place as one of the most influential families in the island's entire history. Number 2. The Ashenheim family. Taking the silver medal at number 2 is a family whose influence is quiet, deep, and profoundly powerful. The Ashenheim family. With Jewish roots stretching back to the 19th century, the Ashenheims have been at the very center of Jamaica's legal, political, and industrial worlds for generations. Their story is one of sustained, strategic influence and incredibly smart investments. The family patriarch, Louis Ashenheim, arrived from Scotland around 1841. He was a doctor by trade, but he also became the editor and proprietor of the island's most powerful and influential newspaper, the Daily Gleaner. This unique combination of public service and media ownership set the tone for the family's future trajectory. His descendants became pillars of the Jamaican establishment. Sir Neville Ashenheim was a top-tier lawyer and politician who, after Jamaica gained its independence in 1962, became the nation's first ambassador to the United States, a critical diplomatic post. But it's their immense economic power that lands them so high on this list. The Ashenheims have been major shareholders in some of Jamaica's most important and foundational companies. Their name has been linked to Caribbean cement, the very bedrock of the nation's construction industry, and Carreras Jamaica Limited, the tobacco giant. They were also deeply involved with La Selle de Mercado, the massive conglomerate that for many years owned the iconic J. Ray and Nephew and Appleton Estate rums. Through these strategic holdings, the Ashenheims wielded significant influence over cement, cigarettes, and rum, three of the most profitable industries in the country. With an estimated net worth believed to exceed $300 million, the Ashenheims operate more behind the scenes than the other families mentioned here. Their power isn't found in flashy branding, but rather in the quiet, unshakable authority of a boardroom. Number 1, the Matalon family. And now, claiming the number 1 spot, the biggest and arguably most powerful Jewish family business in Jamaica, the Matalon family. Their story is the ultimate 20th century empire, a dynasty built on construction, real estate, and a bold, unwavering vision for a modern Jamaica. Of Syrian Jewish descent, the family's journey began when their patriarch, Joseph Matalon, immigrated from Damascus and instilled in his 7 sons and 4 daughters the profound power of unity. Following their father's wise counsel, the Matalon siblings pooled their resources after World War II and founded what would eventually become the Industrial Commercial Development, ICD, Group. What started as a small pharmaceutical distributor grew into one of the Caribbean's most powerful and diversified conglomerates. The Matalon name is now synonymous with immense wealth and power in Jamaica, and for very good reason. Their most significant impact has been in construction and urban development through their company, West Indies Home Contractors, or WICON. WICON pioneered the concept of mass housing in Jamaica. Over the last 60 years, the company has built tens of thousands of homes, completely transforming the face of the nation. Their most celebrated achievement is the development of Greater Portmore. This monumental project was one of the largest housing developments in the history of the English-speaking Caribbean, creating a new city from what was once swampland. Today, led by Joseph M. Matalon, the Tui family's influence continues to dominate. The ICD Group holds major interests in insurance, business process outsourcing, and, of course, their massive real estate portfolio. With an estimated family net worth of around $350 million, they are a formidable financial powerhouse. Joseph M. Matalon has also become a towering figure in his own right, serving as chairman of the Development Bank of Jamaica and as president of the private sector organization of Jamaica, PSOJ, where he has advised the government on critical national economic issues. The Matalons didn't just build houses, they built entire cities. Their epic journey from immigrants to the absolute pinnacle of Jamaica's economic ladder makes them, definitively, the #1 biggest Jewish family business in Jamaica. From the foundational 18th century rum distilleries to the sprawling modern cities of today, the influence of these 10 families on the landscape of Jamaica is absolutely undeniable. Their compelling stories of survival, relentless creativity, and ambitious empire building have shaped the nation in more ways than we can possibly count. Which family's story stood out to you the most? Was it the incredible rags-to-riches rise of George Steeble, the tourism revolution sparked by the Issa family, or the quiet, behind-the-scenes power of the Ashenheims? Drop a comment below and let us know your thoughts. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into Jamaica's hidden economic history, make sure you subscribe and ring that notification bell so you don't miss what's coming up next. The history of Jamaica's Jewish families is a powerful mirror, reflecting the island's own unique story. It's a tale of migration, of escaping persecution, and of seizing the opportunity to build something new and lasting in a land of incredible potential. For over 3.5 centuries, this small but mighty community has been at the forefront of Jamaican commerce and industry. They were trailblazing trade pioneers, masters of agriculture, and the visionary architects of modern industry. They skillfully navigated the complex and often treacherous landscape of colonial society, overcame deep-seated prejudice, and became an integral part of the nation's very foundation. From financing the early sugar and rum trades that first connected Jamaica to the world, to building the resorts and communities that define the island today, their impact is both profound and permanent. Though the Jewish community in Jamaica is smaller now than in centuries past, the legacy of these 10 families, and countless others, lives on. It lives in the iconic brands they created, the enduring landmarks they built, and the strong economic pillars they helped to put in place. Their story is a vital, though often overlooked, chapter in the rich and complex history of Jamaica. Thanks for watching.